Hey Kaijus, welcome back to my channel. This is Anna, where I do food reviews and nerd reviews and anything else that I would like to add to this channel. But today, we are doing another kaiju review. So we're probably going to be really top heavy with the kaiju reviews for a little bit. There's actually a lot going on, and I haven't picked up the comics. I think the comics are being released this week, but the novel was actually released, I believe, the day that the movie came out. It's written by Greg Keyes, and I got it on Audible. I used my one credit because sometimes I drive a lot, so it just makes more sense to actually listen to audio book. And it's narrated by Richard Ferrone, or Ferroni. I'm not sure if the E is silent or not silent, but anyways, he wasn't a bad audio reader. He wasn't my favorite, but he did the job. So, but anyways, let's go into the book. I'm not going to go over the plot line just because if you've seen Godzilla vs. Kong, you know what the plot line is. I'm going to actually focus a little bit on like certain elements that were unique to the book, or it actually brought some of the, actually I think it brought not all of the human characters, fleshed them out a little bit more, but it did help with some. I'm going to go over some of the characters, plot lines, and then pluses, minuses, all that jazz. The Kaiju Battles, really, if you want to do the Kaiju Battles, just watch the movie. There was, I mean, actually, to be honest, I kind of just like mentally kind of blocked out a lot of the descriptive like words, because I mean, really, like Godzilla, you know, atomic breath, you know, King Kong, like it's just stuff like that just kind of goes on. So that part, not that exciting. You know, you got a little bit more scenery, like descriptive words of like Hollow Earth and you know, I think like the one kaiju characters, I think Dr. Eileen, I believe her name was, she names those pigeon bats in the movie Hellhawks, but they didn't look like no hawks, they look like demon bat pigeons. But anyways, so you got those things, and you know, honestly, the movie, if you want the fight scene, let them fight on this big screen. That's what you come here for. There was one scene that I actually thought was kind of unique to the book, because you can't really like get inside Godzilla's head, and you're not like, it's not like they're like Godzilla puts on Beethoven and listens to other classical greats. You know, like it's just like kind of like a more animalistic kind of like, you know, like, oh, the little ones are trying to like, you know, put their fire on me, and I'm like trying to figure out where the hell this alpha noise is. Like there was like one scene that was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And like the intro, actually, the intro of the book, it goes a little bit farther back than like what we started. Like we started like pretty much Kong and Eileen and Gia, but the book actually starts with some of the aftermath of King of Monsters. But really those scenes, like honestly, I kind of forgot. I mean, I remember the one scene, I guess like Godzilla rescues one of the Kraken Titan, because these like eco-terrorists like were drilling for oil, and Godzilla is a huge environmentalist, so plus he had his girl, the Kraken, or I forgot what actually the Kaiju Kraken is called. But anyways, there was actually one scene that in the beginning of the novel actually goes over Nathan Lynn's character, which is Alexander Skarsgård's character. I just, you know, it's funny, like, I just was like, oh, it's Alexander Skarsgård, and throughout the whole movie, that's all he was to me. But the character's name is Nathan Lynn, and it actually goes into a little bit more detail about the original Hollow Earth attempt, and a little bit more backstory about how they tried in Skull Island. Like, you get a sense that, like, I don't think in the movie you actually got a sense that why he was stuck in that biodome. It wasn't just to keep him protected. I guess when they try to make the entry to Hollow Earth bigger near Skull Island, they end up releasing a different Titan. I forgot what his name is. Apparently that Titan creates more storms, and that the whole storm wrecked the island, and started to wreck it, and like Gia's people got swept up in all the rain and all the mudslides, and she honestly, her mother put her in a tree, and Kong actually came and rescued her. So that was like one thing that got, you know, fleshed out in the novel. And, you know, Nathan Lynn's character, like, really, like, that was added, you know, you get the sense that he feels like a failure. You know, not only did he, you know, fail to get to Hollow Earth, but he also killed his brother. I mean, not really killed, but he was he was the living responsible one on this mission. I mean, his brother was just as gung-ho to go to Hollow Earth as he was, but he really felt that they needed more data. But anyways, that was a little bit more. And like in the novel, you get a sense that Nathan Lynn is like a super kind of cowardly dork, you know, and I think because Alexander Skarsgård is just, he's a hunk. I really didn't get a sense that he was, I get a sense that he's not as, he's not like macho man, but I didn't really get the really like the cowardliness of him, except for like him wanting to not be too close to Kong, and him not being like, you know, right there. But anyways, so some of the other characters, I'm not going to really go over Josh, Madison, Russell, Maya, Simmons, who's like, Eileen or Ellen? No, Eileen Andrews, the doctor, that was with Gia. Their characters really didn't have any difference in the novel. Like, there was some more scenes with Eileen, the doctor, about her studying Kong, but they really didn't make, like, I honestly forgot most of them. I think there was just more of her, like, kind of thinking about Gia and how Gia's people, and they're like a little bit of the backstory about like how like they found art from like the temples and stuff about like Godzilla and Kong's like ancient wars. But other than that, it wasn't really that much difference from what we saw in the movie. Bernie's character really was like borderline annoying for me in the movie. He totally annoyed the shit out of me in the novel. So, and also how the audio reader read his voice was just a little too annoying too. So it was just like, ugh, Bernie, you're not doing it for me. I mentioned Gia a little bit, and yeah, I think she kind of lumps in. Like, there was a few extra scenes that were really kind of cool that you get to really get a sense of her story, but really also, like, I feel like the actress in Godzilla movie, I forgot what her name is, she was amazing in the movie. I really think that it was a little bit extra, but not too much. Walter Simmons, the bad guy. I was hoping, like, maybe in, like, the novel we would get more sense of, like, why he did this. Like, is it really just one-dimensional, kind of like with the movie? He was just, you just have to have a villain. You have to have the mad scientist to create Mechagodzilla. And, like, did he lose his wife, or, like, did he have other kids? Like, maybe he lost his wife and, like, and, you know, his other kids, or his whole family besides my... No, he was just one-dimensional bad guy, rich scientist who wanted to take over the world with Mechagodzilla. I mean, that was his real ultimate goal, really, with creating Mechagodzilla. He wanted to be the alpha. He wanted to control everything. So, not really much sense there. So it wasn't disappointing, but I just was curious to see if there was just a little bit more dimension to his character. Now, Serizawa, on the other time, actually, to be honest, I had no idea that he was Dr. Serizawa's son when I first watched it. I didn't catch his name. I kind of just thought he was like the token Asian, like, henchman. I mean... And I know a lot of people were kind of mad that, like why is the Asian guy just, like, in Godzilla? Whatever. Anyways, that's a whole different topic. Yeah, so his storyline was actually, I'm going to say better, but it was much more fleshed out. And you kind of, you knew he was Serizawa's son for real, besides if you could hear his intro in the movie. But, you know, Ren Serizawa, he has some major daddy abandonment issues. And, yeah, like, he really hated Godzilla. He hated how much his father just left him and just poured his heart and soul into Godzilla and not into his son, or his mom, you know. And, I mean, so what better to deal with your daddy abandonment issues than to create, AI to compete with Godzilla. I mean, that's usually how most people focus their daddy abandonment issues. But, so yeah, that was pretty much his huge plot line. In the movie, you don't really get a sense that he actually made it, but he actually made that whole program, and like, yeah, like pretty much Walter Simmons gave him all the tech and all the money, but he was actually like the mastermind of like the actual skull AI thing, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, and it was interesting, like in the book, he really didn't want to turn on the Mecha Godzilla in that last scene. He was like, dude, these readings are really bizarre. But he was also know that Walter Simmons, he gets what he wants. So he was like, all right, well, I'll do it, to his downfall. So Andrew Russell was like one of the other characters that I really think that the novel really improved on. In the movie, you saw him just kind of being in Madison's way, like making her want to just run away and go find what's really wrong with Godzilla. In the book, yeah, it's still the same, kind of like, you know, and like, for me, like, I'm not a parent, I don't have children, but like, one part of the book, and this is kind of like a sidetrack, that kind of bothered me was that you have a daughter that has probably severe PTSD, and you just want to dump her into a public high school where she then has to deal with teenage girls. You know, I think some days, recalling high school and middle school, I'd rather take Ghidorah. At least Ghidorah is pretty honest in his hatred. Teenage girls, that can be pretty intense. But besides that parenting thing, I was just like, you know what, maybe her homeschooling idea is not too bad, you know, like, but that's way off topic. Like, well, it's not off topic, but that was like one thing that kind of bothered me. Like, let her go homeschool. She doesn't need to go to high school. She got PTSD and she got to see cool monsters. You know, let her live her life. But in the novel, though, like in the movie, you really get a sense that he really didn't believe her. He didn't really want to pay attention to her. He kind of like reverted to like the previous movie where Godzilla's bad again. You know, he's just like, and just like, okay. Yeah, he did attack Pensacola, but in the novel, he listens to Maddie a little bit. But then he's a scientist, he's a smart dude, he's not dumb. He starts thinking about why did it attack Apex and then just disappear, and then Godzilla just goes back into the ocean. Like, why did it just really, like, yeah, he had collateral damage because he's, like, how tall is he again? Like, 1 billion feet? I mean, I think he's not 1 billion feet tall, but he's a big guy, so there's going to be collateral damage. But, like, why did he attack Apex and then just go back into the sea? And, then also I think he was like, well, why is Apex funding a Hollow Earth experiment? And then, you know, then he's going, and then they get readings then they discover readings that actually makes it sound like there was like maybe like an orca-ish type device, and like there was a sound coming out of Apex, like Pensacola. So like in the novel, he's actually starting to piece things together, and he's starting to believe Maddie. And then he also realizes his daughter's missing, and he's like, oh shit, you know. Because that was one thing I was like, doesn't he like wonder where his daughter is? But yeah, so he in the book, he's not as like absent-minded or like just there to just be her wall. He actually is thinking about Godzilla and you know, and why Apex is so closely aligned with all the events, and pretty much like, I guess Walter Simmons had a press release and say Godzilla is like public enemy #1 in his book. So I actually liked his story better. It made a little bit more sense than him just being like, Maddie, go home. All in all, you don't have to read the book. Like, if you watch the movie, you pretty much got the movie. If you wanted a little bit more fleshed out POV of the characters, it's good for that. But honestly, it's not a bad book. Like, I've read far worse books in my life. But it's not like, it's not going to win any awards. So I think that if you want like a little bit extra Godzilla action, pick it up. It's not a bad book. if you really just want to watch two monsters beating the crap out of each other, just watch the movie. That's all you need. Rating, I don't really want to give it a rating. I mean, I think it's pretty average. I think it's like a 3 kaiju bites out of 5. But yeah, go see the movie. I mean, Godzilla movies are meant to be watched. Well, some of them are. But yeah, so like and subscribe and join me for future videos, and I'll see you guys next time.